transfer to Cornwall for RAF man Martin meant he'd had to leave wife Alison behind in Cambridgeshire for the past 3 months.
It's time now that we got together and found a nice property down here.
When we first met them, they were living 300 miles apart.
The pressure was really on, because although Martin had been transferred from an RAF base in Cambridgeshire to one in North Cornwall, Alison had to stay put until they had a new home. So it was our job to find a house that would reunite them.
It's the companionship, it's the, being with each other at the end of the day. It's frustrating, but it's a part of being in the service that sometimes you are going to be apart. However, obviously we would like to be together again. And the only thing that's stopping us from doing that at the moment is buying a house.
When they could enjoy it together, Martin and Alison loved the lush Cornish countryside, but they weren't the only ones. At the time of their search, Cornwall was enjoying 5 million visitors a year, many of whom were deciding to buy. In 2003, a third of Cornwall's properties were holiday homes, so we had our work cut out to reunite our pair in the same county.
So you're all both sitting here in front of us together, but I gather this is a rare treat.
It certainly is. It is normally just over a long weekend, so a couple of days.
So not only are you coming down to spend time together, you've then got to go out house hunting. And
It can be quite stressful sometimes.
Can imagine.
Hectic.
Well, the more information that you can give us about what it is that you're looking for, things that you like, things that you don't like.
I think we need three bedrooms.
3 would be nice. Definitely a garden.
Definitely a garden. It has to have a garden.
Definitely a garage.
So for £180,000, they were after a 3-bedroom house with character. Alison was keen on a garden, and Martin wanted a garage for his bike. Ideally, they'd be around the popular villages of Wadebridge, Bodmin and Camelford. Our search began in the pretty village of Trevegan, with a 3-bedroom house that came in well under budget at £155,000, and it even had a garage. Amazing what your money could get you back then.
Okie dokie, in we come. Now, the key to this house is its lovely position. The things that you need to change are things about the house, the interior, the exterior. The village, the position, the location is all lovely.
What are your first impressions of layout?
I know there was a small porchway, then straight into the lounge with the kitchen off one way and, not conventional, but...
Space-wise, how does it feel?
It feels quite roomy, I think. Definitely if you choose the right colours.
See what you make of this room here.
Yes.
There is downstairs loo and a sort of storage stroke utility room. These walls are very thin. My suggestion would be incorporate all that space.
You could open it all up. You could always use it as a kitchen diner.
There's a morning's work to take.
Oh, sure, yeah. I've got a sledgehammer, so...
Kirstie would be proud of it.
Indeed, yes.
Upstairs has room for a revamp, but there's lots of space.
Now, start with that view.
Gorgeous.
This is the idyllic Cornish farmland view that we're really looking for. The dimensions are very good, the ceilings aren't low, and it's like a really pretty person with a great face and a great figure with a dustbin bag over them.
It's time to reveal, I think.
It is time to reveal, and it's really there for the taking.
I think I can see the potential. I think we've definitely got a bit of a winner here, for me personally.
Oh, really?
I do like it. The location is stunning.
So the location and interior are winners. I just hope the garden doesn't disappoint.
Alison, we've been talking about the size of the garden. It wraps around the house.
Yeah.
This dog kennel will go with the Vendels, as will that shed.
I must admit, I'm, can I say disappointed, actually, with the size of the garden.
You can say
It would,
disappointed.
because I think I was expecting something. I expected half a field, perhaps, or something that I could...
Or something a bit bigger than this, certainly.
Bigger than this.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was going so well. As important as the house is in bringing them together, we can't forget the importance of the garden.
Martin and Alison want value for money, but to get that, they have to steer clear of those picture postcard villages. Our next property is in the village of Delabole, off the tourist trail. And although it's over budget, it has been on the market for 6 months, so that leaves us plenty of room for negotiation.
We were very much holding in the forefront of our minds That you wanted a project for your garden.
That's a capital P project, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay.
Could you do something with it?
Definitely.
There's blank and there's blank,
There's
isn't it?
definitely blank.
Right, here you come. Now, you can hear from my voice that it's an empty home.
Yes. It is.
And it's been on the market for a number of months. And I think the reason for that is because it isn't really finished.
But quite a lot of it has already been done,
Yeah.
as you say.
Oh, yeah,
it is
no.
literally just finishing it off.
Yeah, it's very grand. This is one of 2 amazing fireplaces.
Would that be an original feature of the property?
I think it would be an original feature of the property.
Definitely.
And it has 2 vast reception rooms, a kitchen, a dining room, and upstairs there are 4 bedrooms.
So it is a huge house then.
There's work to do here, but the original fireplaces and beautiful tiled hall are real selling points.
They seem thrilled by the size and scope of this house, and there's more to come.
Good Lord.
This is a huge bathroom.
It is a huge bathroom, isn't it?
There's a rugby club close or something. Do they use this one?
We've got to try and get you to see this as an opportunity that other people haven't. Say you bought it for 170. I mean, I plucked that figure out of the air, but, and you came in here and you spent 10 grand. What's it going to be worth?
Yeah.
It's going to be worth a damn sight more than they're asking.
Yeah. Even if, we went for all the property, moved into it, lived in it a while, and decided how we were going to do things.
Yeah.
It's still perfectly habitable as it is.
This house is a real diamond in the rough, just waiting for Martin and Alison to polish it up.
I think we might be back to this one.
So, a real contender with another house still to see.
Our final property is in the beautiful village of St Mabin, a hot favourite with second homers. This traditional cottage has a big garden, ripe and ready for Alison's green fingers.
It's been developed with the holiday home market very much in mind. Will it appeal to Alison and Martin?
We're quite pleased with this because it's not even on the market, but we've been able to use our contacts to let us have an early look.
I'm sure that Alison and Martin will look past the fact it's unfinished and see the bags of potential here.
Straight through these sort of French-style doors into the kitchen diner.
Wow. Yeah.
As you can see, it's not quite finished. It will be finished by the end of next week.
Look at that beautiful garden. I have a vision.
View from the kitchen, which is what you always like as well.
Yeah,
So.
it's stunning. Yeah, so far so good. It's looking great.
Very positive. If the upstairs has as positive a reaction, this could be a winner.
Much better ceiling height upstairs than down.
Downstairs is the quintessential cottagey feel, but it's nice up here to get the sort of, you can feel where the roof goes.
Yeah, you could jump up and down on your bed without banging your head.
Certainly, yeah.
Should you choose to.
So you've got all the benefits of a new house with all the charm of an old house.
Which is essentially what we were after.
Yeah.
So,
Could it be under this roof that Alison and Martin can be together again? When we were searching in Cornwall in 2003, the average price of a detached property was just over £217,000. And with competition from holiday homeowners, that rose to 354 grand at the peak. But after prices fell in 2008, the market began to change. These days, increasingly better broadband and transport links have made Cornwall an attractive proposition for those wanting to live here full-time, especially if they can work from home. And with the market buoyant again, detached homes are now averaging 330 grand, close to their previous peak. Time to see which property Alison and Martin would go for. After a Cornish breakfast of champions, of course.
There we
Morning,
go.
you two.
wonderful, thanks very much.
Proper Cornish pad.
Did you sleep all right?
Yeah, very well,
Set
thanks.
for another day?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
we had lots to talk about last night. We went through a lot of the pros and cons of all the properties, but I think today we want to go back and visit the one in Delabole.
Before you get distracted by the pasties in the shops, we better get up.
Okay.
Kirstie wants to go shopping, I can tell.
We return to that grand house in Delabole village.
So, back in the hall.
Yeah,
See,
still
I
as
think-
impressive as it was yesterday.
Do you think that's one of its biggest attractions for you?
I like it a lot, yeah. I think even though it's a bit dull at the moment, once it's been polished up, it'll look fantastic.
They love the space here, but price and where to store Martin's treasured bike are the issues we need to discuss.
What were you thinking?
Well, I think this is obviously going to be the most logical place to put the garage.
A single skin garage here, concrete base, flat top, 1,000 to 1,300 maximum.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I was thinking about 2 probably would be how much we'd have to spend, so if you're coming up with that sort of figure, that's good.
Say we could do a deal on the price on this. If you were to spend 10 grand dressing this up, you're making money, you're in profit at that point.
The fact that this could be a money earner, if you like,
Yeah.
is a bonus.
It could also be the long-term home because you're never going to run out of space.
That's very true.
I think this is the one. I thought they were going to go for the Mayburn Cottage at the end of yesterday, but I think they've been wooed by the grandeur of this one.
I think at the end of the day it'll come down to money. This isn't going to compete with the second homeowners.
No.
It's been on the market a long time, we can do a deal.
If they decide they definitely want to go for it.
We do need to carpet the place. We do need to look at getting a garage built. So we're going to have to push for a very good price.
That house is on the market at 190.
I think 170, test the water, see what's going to happen with it.
Test the water or 170 flat?
Oh,
Personally, I'm keen for 170 and
That's your
it.
cut-off point. Do you want me to go for it?
Go for it, Kirstie.
do your stuff.
I'm really ringing to talk to you about the Delabole house, as you probably guessed.
Yes.
And they're really, really keen on it. But at the end of the day, it's a budgetary thing.
Right.
And they just haven't got the budget to meet the asking price.
Okay, I understand that.
The offer that we are thinking of making is 170,000.
I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Brilliant. Thanks, Carol. Okay. Bye.
Good gracious. Woo.
Well,
We're offering 20,000 beneath the asking price. That will be our only offer.
Hello, Kirstie.
Carol, thanks for ringing me back.
That's all right. Right, I've had a chat with my vendor.
Yeah.
She said she will accept the offer.
Oh my God! That's amazing!
Okay.
That's great. Listen, I'm gonna give you a ring in a bit. Thanks so much. Bye. I am genuinely, for the first time ever, completely
been gassed?
speechless.
You've never been short for words
You
before.
see that?
You've got to build a garage,
With their offer accepted, Alison and Martin were looking forward to being reunited in their new home. But sadly, the survey revealed a nasty case of damp. And despite Alison and Martin's efforts to renegotiate, they couldn't proceed and had to withdraw. So that left them back on the road, continuing their search.
In Martin and Alison's original brief, they wanted a character house. So imagine my surprise when I discovered they'd bought a brand new bungalow. I'm here to discover what happened and how they reached this compromise.
Hello. Hi, Kirstie. How are you? Nice to see you.
It's very nice to see you.
Hi.
I wasn't entirely sure this was you.
Well, not what you were expecting, eh?
Something slightly different.
Something slightly different. Their newly built house was a compromise, but it has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a dining kitchen and a spacious sitting room. But first, I wanted to see Alison's much longed-for garden.
So as you can see, here's the garden, the compromise.
This is lovely. Did you do this paving?
We didn't actually. We cheated slightly because this was the show home. So it was all done already for us, although I have tweaked it a bit. Yes, we'd like to have the ideal, but, you know, this is the compromise for us. It's a lovely house. Yes, we've got the view in the front, but something had to give.
It got to the stage where we weren't going to find what we wanted.
Yeah.
Without broadening our sort of spec, if you like. Now, we hadn't thought about bungalows at all, but there are thousands of them in Cornwall, so we began to look at that.
At £185,000, it was £5,000 over budget, but it had the space they craved.
I think we were very lucky. It was, we fell on our feet with this one, I think, after looking for quite a while.
I have to say, after the search you'd had, you definitely deserve that luck. Because it's not as if you were fussy.
I don't think we were too fussy, no. I mean, there are a few things that we definitely wanted, like the garden
Like
and the
a
garage.
garden and a garage, as things that a lot of people would take for granted.
Yeah.
The other thing that most people would take for granted, at least most married people, is being able to spend some time together.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't have that until you moved into this house, so how's that been?
It's been fun.
And it's been great setting up a home again.
Yeah, really nice.
And the property paid dividends in other ways too.
Despite the fact that you bought a show home to which you could not add value, to which you did nothing to add value or put your own stamp on it. You know, we've had an agent come round and he has said that you could get between £220,000 and £230,000.
No way.
So that represents a profit of more than £40,000 tax-free.
I didn't think it would be that much.
I didn't think it would be that much.
Against all my expectations, this modern buy has made them money.
When they did eventually sell it in 2007, the Cornwall bungalow ultimately delivered a profit of 65 grand. It was never about the money though, it was about being together. And living under the same roof again eventually led to Alison and Martin conceiving an entirely new life plan.
I think it was the right decision for us. I think we'd come to a crossroads where we thought, you know, yeah, we've got a nice house in Cornwall, and we did really love that last house in Cornwall. But it was just time for a new adventure.
10 years after we last saw them, although the landscape is not far off a Cornish picture postcard, they're now living in a new land, New Zealand.
We were meant to come down to New Zealand for a 3-week holiday, and he said, well, let's go and give it a go for 3 years.
But of course, yeah, here we are 8 years later and we're still here, so we obviously made the right choice.
An opportunity for Martin to join the Royal New Zealand Air Force in 2007 led our intrepid pair to their latest home near Wood Hill Forest, about 40 minutes west of Auckland. With 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, there's plenty of room for overseas visitors. And with an open-plan living arrangement downstairs with what the Kiwis call indoor-outdoor flow, it's easy to see the appeal.
We both, we fell in love with it straight away. We both knew we wanted it.
Their second buy since being in New Zealand, this property cost them $845,000 New Zealand dollars in 2012, which was roughly £420,000.
And house purchasing in New Zealand seems to be a lot less complicated than in the UK, and it happens a lot faster. So I think from start to finish it took us about...
It was 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
3 weeks? No need to rub it in. For these two, outside space was always as important as the house itself. 3.5 acres should probably do it.
Big garden.
Yeah. Before, Alison wanted a project, and she was talking about a capital P project. She certainly got
paddock,
that's for sure. P for paddock. So yeah, in comparison with what we had in the UK, we just love the fact that we can have that space. It's great.
Known in New Zealand as a lifestyle block, the land is also home to an array of animals, some of which they even inherited.
When we bought the house, it actually came with some sheep. So we were plunged headlong into being sort of smallholders, I suppose. We've got these sheep, what are we going to do with them?
Well, that task was left to Alison, initially at least, as Martin was deployed again pretty much as soon as they'd bought the house in 2012.
Then we'll have to go and feed the ducks, probably move the sheep. Once again, I was off on my travels and Alison was left behind.
And once back, Martin was quick to build not just a garage, but a workshop big enough to house toys and a vintage tractor for restoration.
I've got a 1954 Ferguson tractor, which is now in pieces, just about to be rebuilt back up to its former glory. So
good, because he keeps taking things off, but we're not having anything put back on yet, and it's got to be ready for spring to mow the garden and mow the paddock. So no pressure.
No, I know.
Yep, 3.5 acres doesn't take care of itself, and Alison's always hankered after a good life garden.
There's a local horticultural show. I was determined to enter some of my veggies, so I thought, I'll just chuck them in and see what happens. But I won first prize in quite a few of those categories, so it's just little things like that. You can actually be part of the community, and it's quite humbling.
Horticultural prizes notwithstanding,
Come on then, chickens.
These two seem to have hit the lifestyle and property jackpot on all levels. They've been in New Zealand for 8 years, and since buying this property nearly 3 years ago, the value's estimated to have risen by about $200,000 to over $1 million. That's over £500,000.
I think we just have been very lucky. We've just bought at the right time, sold at the right time. But also, Phil and Kirstie said, you know, don't be afraid to make that cheeky offer. You never know what will happen.
And these two certainly aren't afraid to grasp an opportunity. So when the chance came to apply for citizenship, they didn't hesitate.
We're Kiwis. Yeah, it's quite an honour. And we've got lots of friends down here as well, so they're like our Kiwi family. So having our citizenship was quite important to us as well.
We talk about the UK as being home, but that's only just purely because for most of our lives it has been. So even though sometimes we say that, you know, actually this is our home at the moment, and yeah, we love it. The size of this house and the size of the land that it's on is something that was a pipe dream in the UK. And to have that in this country, which is beautiful, is just, that's the best thing.